Um, darling, can I talk to you about something? No, it's not that. It's not about us. It's about me. Can I sit down here for a while? I, um, I'm sorry. No, nothing happened. I don't know. I just, um, I, I'm sorry for everything. Do you have the mental capacity for this? I've got a lot of things on my mind that I want to let out. Thank you. Thank you for being willing to listen. I just need to let this out before I drive myself insane, just thinking and thinking and thinking. I've tried to let out my thoughts. I've tried to keep myself together. I've tried to console myself. I've tried everything I know. And while it usually makes me feel better, it just doesn't seem to work anymore. I don't know what's wrong with I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm not like this. Or am I? I don't know. I don't know who I am anymore. All I know is that I'm living in this constant state of fear, that I feel like I'm going nowhere. It feels like it feels like my life is in this constant state of limbo. Thank you for the tissues. I'm so sorry. Don't get me wrong. I'm incredibly grateful for everything that I have and for the opportunities I've got to pave the way for my future. But I just, I don't know where my life is headed. It feels like I'm standing in quicksand and there doesn't seem to be a way out no matter where I look. I'm looking for a vine, a person, a rock, anything, but there's nothing there. I've been so overwhelmed with school. It's been one assignment after another, at least a single heavy weightage submission per week. Add to that presentations and hours upon hours of reading textbooks and skimming through research papers. I haven't had a moment to breathe and rest before starting on the next assignment. Then the actual writing process is made so much more difficult by always second guessing myself. You remember that one professor from last term that always marked extra strictly, for whom no amount of effort would guarantee a grade higher than a credit? Yeah, they're teaching another class I'm taking this term. And I recently got back the grade for the last essay I submitted. And it just left me feeling deflated. I looked at the rubrics before I started writing my assignment, and while I was adding in my points, I countered and played devil's advocate on their behalf while I was checking my points, and even during the final sweep through just before submitting it. It wasn't good enough. I mean, I didn't do badly, but All these things add up, and I'm worried about how it will affect my final grade and my GPA. And you know how employers scrutinize and judge your hypothetical and potential performance as an employee based on what your GPA tells them. How am I going to find a proper job with subpar grades? Even if I'm a student who averages distinctions and maybe even a couple of high distinctions each term, one small slip up in a single class affects everything else I've worked so hard for. I can't afford that, and sometimes it feels like I'm punishing myself by pushing myself so hard. At the end of the day, how good a person I am doesn't get me a good job. It's what I can offer people in terms of knowledge and expertise that will land me an offer. I graduate next year, and I don't know what my life is going to be like once that happens. I'm the first person from my family to graduate from university. I know it wasn't easy for them to get me to where I am today. The late night shifts and working overtime, not buying something they liked just so I could go to school and become a somebody. That's why it's so important for me to get a proper job, so I can do my part to contribute to the family's income, to give them all a better life. I can't disappoint them, not after everything they've done for me. I probably sound like I'm exaggerating and catastrophizing these things, but I'm genuinely so worried about the future. I know I'm nothing special. I'm just your average girl who wants to do well and make something of herself. And at the moment, I don't see that happening. Not with the lack of sleep I'm getting and all this stress getting to me. I can't fail. I can't disappoint everyone who's done so much for me and believed in me. It's up to me to make things work for myself. But how am I supposed to be my best self with all this negativity eating me up from the inside? I know you must be wondering why I've been so distant lately. It's just that each time I see you, I see someone who makes me feel better about myself. Then I start thinking about what you see in me, what makes me worthy of your time and attention. There are so many other people out there who are so much better than me, smarter, better looking, more talented. I don't know what you see in me. And when these thoughts when these thoughts start popping up in my head, I just want to hug you tight and let them all spill out. Then I start thinking about how I'd just be burdening you with all my problems. I know you've got a lot on your own plate as is, what with everything that's been going on. You don't need to worry about me and my problems. I'm not a child. I should be able to handle my issues on my own, right? And that's why I've been staying away from you, so I can deal with my problems like a grown up, not by dumping them on the closest living, breathing person. But you're amazing. You know that? Even though I've been like this, you still made time for me. You still chose to spend time with me, eat dinner with me, talk to me, tell me about your day, ask me how mine was. You helped around the house. I know that because I've been so in my head and preoccupied with my thoughts that I didn't do some of the chores properly. Still, still, you never once complained or brought it up or even furrowed an eyebrow. You didn't push me to talk about what was on my mind. Why? You see, this is why I don't deserve someone like you in my life. It's like you fine tuned yourself to understand what I mean, even though I don't say anything. You knew I was having a rough time, and you didn't push me to talk about things when I was closing myself off. You knew that I'd bring it up first when I was ready. You gave me my space and were there for me the way you knew I needed you to be. That makes me want to cry even more. You have no idea how much I appreciate your presence in my life and how thankful I am to know that I have someone like you standing behind me, holding my hand and always being here for me. I don't know what I've done to deserve this, to deserve someone like you in my life, cheering me on and being there for me even when I can barely make sense of myself and my own life. I do deserve all this? You believe in me and think I can. Oops. Sorry. Yes, I hear you. No, I can do this? Thank you. Before we eat and call it a day, can I ask you for one thing? Can I please have a hug? It's okay if you don't want to. Thank you. I love you so, so much.